welcome to the ticket event webinar. My name is Elizabeth Delarova and I'm an account manager at GiveSignup. I'm the only GiveSignup account manager at the moment. So GiveSignup ticket events are part of our new platform, which is just for our nonprofit customers. We released this platform in July. It's a new division of RunSignup. So ticketing is one of the new features that we released for our nonprofit customers. The other ones are donation websites and the nonprofit dashboard. And then pretty soon we're going to be doing fundraising campaigns as well. So today we're going to go through the ticket platform, and I'm going to show some of the newer features that we've released since the last ticket event webinar that I did over the summer and just in the last couple of months. So here's a kind of a overview of what we'll do today. So I'm going to quickly go through and set up an example event just so you can kind of see what it looks like. And then I'll show you on some existing events how to set up some more complex things like custom questions, combo tickets, and then I'll quickly go through how to add content to your cover page for your event, and I'll explain what a cover page is if you're not familiar with that concept. And then we also have I'll show you some donation discounts set up and a couple other of our new features like the ticket check-in app. So I'm going to go to our wizard. So this is the ticket event wizard. And this is where you're going to set up your ticket event. So you can get to it by going to givesignup.org and clicking on create ticket event. You can also go in through your RunSignup profile and click create ticket event in a couple different places. But the easiest way if you're starting from scratch is to just go to givesignup.org, click create ticket event, and I'll show you how to do that. Because we have a new website landing page. So you'll see here, you can learn more about ticket events, create a ticket event, and it'll take you right back here to the wizard. So I'm going to create a Good Neighbor Day picnic event. So here I'm just filling out the event name. This event type, this is going to make a customized banner image show up on your website depending on what event type you select. So in this case, I'm going to go with, I think for this one we'll do the dinner one. And I'll just put a description. Obviously you can go back and add information to this when you're setting up your ticket event. For the first time you might only have a little bit of information, but you can always go back and add more to your description. I'll put my email as the contact email. This would just be whatever email you want. Anybody who goes to your website and uses the contact event box, this is the email that information will go to. So you'll want to use maybe your info@yournonprofit.org or whatever email you want to use for that. You can add links to Facebook and to your nonprofit's website if you want. I'm going to skip that for today. You can also add a location or not. I'm also going to skip that just for the sake of time. But obviously, if you have a street address for your event, you'll want to put that and it'll show up on your event website. This is your event visibility. When you go through for the first time, you might want to leave your event in draft so that no one can find your event on the internet until you're ready for it to be, publicly viewable and for people to go in and buy tickets. Private would just be the link would work, so you could send somebody the link and they could see your event, but it's not going to show up on Google or on public event lists, anything like that. And then public is what it sounds like. Anybody can go on and find your event. We'll put mine on private for today. This is the contract, and you can click here and read the full contract. And then here we're going to set up our tickets. So I'm going to keep it simple today and just do one ticket group and a couple ticket levels. Ticket groups and levels are just the way that we currently sort how you want your tickets to show up. So if you have like a multi-day event at the moment or any kind of more complicated setup, you can use multiple ticket groups, multiple ticket levels. But for a lot of events like the one that I'm setting up as a demo today, you're only going to need one ticket group or one ticket level. So I'm just going to call our ticket group picnic. and it's just a general event. You'll put a description for your ticket group here. So again, I'm just going to put picnic. This would be the start and end time for the actual event. So I'm going to say my event is going to be on April 4th, and we'll start it at 12 p.m. And then I'm going to have it end on April 4th. So this isn't your purchase periods. We're going to get to that in a later step. Right now, we're just doing the actual time that the event is going to be happening. Your ticket levels are just any kind of different pricing or any sort of different ways you want reporting to show up on the back end. You're going to want to set it up as different ticket levels. So for example, if you want to do an adult ticket, which it has a different price than your kid ticket, you want to set them up as 2 different ticket levels. Or if you have, you know, VIP tickets or sponsor tickets or anything where it becomes more complicated, you're going to set up multiple ticket levels or maybe even multiple ticket groups. So I think I'm just going to do adult and kid for this. You can add a description for these, but you don't have to. For a lot of events, you don't need a description for each level. It's pretty self-explanatory at that point. These options down here give you even more power, so you can control like whether or not the age field shows up if you're requiring information from your ticket buyers for a 21 plus event. Like if you're having like a wine tasting or something, you could use this. And then this is combo tickets, which we'll get to later. I'm going to skip that for now. We'll actually set it up on a different event that I already have. So you can see that later. So now we have our ticket group set up with 2 ticket levels, adult and kid, and we have the date and time set up for it as well. If we wanted to, we could add another ticket group and even more ticket levels, but we're not going to do that today. We're just going to keep going through the wizard. So here's our purchase screen. So this is where you're actually going to set up your pricing periods and your pricing. So we're going to say purchase opens today, and it's going to close on the day of the event. And we'll just say midnight, even though the event ends at like 3 or whatever I put. Here's where you could change the price depending on how many tickets you're buying of a certain level. So for example, if you wanted you know, anybody who's buying more than 4 adult tickets to pay less per ticket, you could use these boxes here to do that. But for this kind of an event, we're going to keep it simple and just do adult tickets are $15 and kid tickets are $10. Just to show what I mean, this is, if I do that, then it'll pop up here and say when there are 3, 2, and I could do, you know, 10, and then I would have a different price for those tickets, and it'll just keep going and going and going as long as you're putting something in these boxes. So we're gonna leave that for now though. Here's where you can set what kind of information you want to collect from your ticket holders or your ticket buyers. So you can either require just this personal information from the person actually going on and buying the tickets and you know, filling out their credit card information and everything like that, or you can also require it for each individual ticket. So for this kind of an event, you might not care to know all this information about each kid that has a ticket to the event. You just want to know like this information about whatever person is going on and buying the group of tickets. So we're going to require street address because maybe we want to actually mail these people some paper tickets or something. So we'll require those fields, but we're going to leave the other ones not shown. For a lot of events, especially nonprofit events, you don't really need much information, which is another reason why our ticket event platform is so great for nonprofits who might have otherwise been using like our Run Walk Ride platform and having to require all this extra information of people for like their Frisbee tournament or something that they're holding. So you can require at a minimum just first name, last name, email address, which for a lot of nonprofits is all that you're going to need. Here you can set up some caps if you have a certain amount of tickets for a level or for a group. You can add that number here so that the site won't sell more than that. But for this picnic, we don't have caps. This is okay. Here's where you could add a waiver. This is moving to the dashboard pretty soon, but for now it's still in our wizard. For our picnic, we don't need a waiver, so we're going to skip that. Here's where you're going to add your payment information. So if you already have an existing RunSignup payment account for your 501c3 nonprofit, you can add it here. So it'll show up under the payment account dropdown. If you have multiple, you'll see them all here. If you don't have one, or if you don't have one for your nonprofit, you'll have to set it up. So you can click here and set one up, or you can go to set up later and send the payment information to somebody else in your nonprofit, maybe your finance person, so that they can go in and create the payment account, and then you can go back later and it'll show up here once they add it. It goes through an approval process with our finance team, so it's not an immediate thing. It usually takes about a day or two depending on what kind of information they need. As you can see up here, there's a little drop down that shows what kind of information we need and what kind of standards we have for the nonprofits that are using our ticket event platform at the moment. So you can kind of review this when you're going in to set up an event to make sure that you meet all these requirements before you go through all the way, just to find out that you don't meet the minimum revenue requirement or something. There's also a test mode here, which will just allow you to skip the payment for now and go through and be able to test your purchase path so that you can see what it looks like, and then go back later and add the payment. We'll put that on for now. So now we're all done with the wizard, and we can either view our website or customize now. We'll quickly view the website. There's not really anything exciting on it, just our banner, which, like I said, this was pulled automatically from that dropdown. So if I had picked the golf event or something, that would show up here instead. And we have like 16 or something different banner options. And so these are default, and then obviously you can go back in and add your own later, or I'll show you at the end how to create a cover page for your event so that you can have an even more beautiful customized website for your event. And then this tile here is just where people can go to buy their tickets, so they can add as many as they want here, since we don't have anything complicated with caps or combo tickets or anything, and then hit sign up, and it'll take them right here to the checkout screen right now, because we don't have donations turned on or store items or anything like that. So it's just going to take them straight to the purchase screen right now. This is that contact us button. So if somebody clicks here, then they're going to be able to email you a question about your event. Here's where somebody can look up a ticket to their event. So if somebody's not sure if they bought a ticket or not sure, or they just need their confirmation email again, they can go to your website, put their email in here, check I'm not a robot, and then hit look up tickets, and they'll get an email with their confirmation from their tickets if they have purchased tickets to your event. Up here where you see the little ticket, this is your event logo, which I'll show you how to customize in a moment. But it automatically populates with this little ticket image. And then this sign up button, you can also change the wording on that, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's go into our dashboard. So this is the ticket dashboard. If you're familiar at all with the RunSignup race dashboard, it looks kind of similar with all these options on the left, and then everything's going to be here. So we're taken from the wizard straight here to the event page screen, where we can customize the colors for our event. So if we want to change the theme to a different one, we have a bunch of default ones here. You can also add your own. So if you have your own nonprofit colors, you can go in and put in all the hex codes for those, and they'll show up here, and you can name it whatever you want. And you can add as many of these as you want and keep switching between them. So you have a lot of options with this. You can also take one of these and just change one of the colors in it if you want to. Like if you like this one, but you want this blue to be different, you could do that. Here's where you would upload that logo. And then here's where you could upload your banner. So if you don't like this current banner image, you can switch to one of these. So maybe for my picnic event, I decide, well, I like this one a little better. It's a little more picnicky. I can switch to that, or I can upload my own banner image here, and it even tells you what size to make it. And then that'll show up on your website. Down here, you can add your Facebook and your Instagram usernames. And then here's where that custom wording for the sign up button would happen. So in this box here, you could put buy tickets, for example. And now once I hit save, it'll show up on my event website as buy tickets instead of sign up. And you can put anything you want in there. You can also change how the words like event or ticket group show up on your website. So anywhere where it says event on your website right now, you could change it to say picnic in this case. So we will save that. And then we're going to set up donations for this event. And then we're going to switch and see a couple other examples of events. And I'll show you some of the more complicated settings, like custom questions, which it'll be easier to show you on an event that's already set up. So for now, let's do donations. So here you can collect donations through your ticket event website, and you can even have them, going year round. So even while you're not selling tickets to your event, you can still be collecting donations, and you get that really nice donate button in the corner next to your sign up button. So you'll be able to, here you can say when you want to start accepting donations. So we'll leave it on today. You'll add your payment account here. This can be the same payment account or a different one than the one you set up for your ticket sales. In most cases, since you're a nonprofit, you're going to use the same one. But if you wanted 2 different ones for reporting purposes or whatever, you could do that. Here you can enter your donation message. So this could be a description of your nonprofit, what you do, why you need donations, anything you want. We'll just put donate for now. So once you do that basic setup, then you have all these options here laid out in these nice little, this nice list. So here, these are the general settings that you just started with. So this is where you could set an end date for your donations if you wanted. So if you only wanted to accept donations until the day of the event or something, you could do that. You can turn on to recurring donations here. We're going to leave that off for now, but just know that you can accept recurring donations through your ticket event. And so if you do that, then you'll be accepting donations year round. And there, you can set a stop amount for people. You can allow them to set their own. So if somebody wants to donate like, $10 a month, they can set, okay, but stop my donation at once I reach $1,000 a month. So at that point, it'll stop recurring. Down here, you can enter a donations closed message if you are going to close donations for part of the year. You might add a link to your nonprofit website or something so that they can go there to donate instead. Here you can add a image to your donation page. It says logo, but I've also seen a lot of nonprofits just upload another one of their images that they have because it just shows up on your donation page next to your text that you put up here. So really any image that you'd like can go here. These are donation levels, and these display really nicely, and I'll show you on a real event in a moment. But for now, we can set up a couple just so you can see the process for that. So this donation amount is going to show up on a little box, and then you can also name the donation level. So I've seen like gold, silver, bronze, things like that. Or you can name it like, sponsor a kid and add a certain amount that would correspond to that. And these additional details will also show up in a little tooltip like this. So actually like this black box that appears when I scroll over this is going to show up if you enter anything in here on that $10 tile. So you can add as many of these as you want. I recommend around 3. I feel like 3 displays really nicely. I've seen people do more like 5, but generally like 3 or 5 is a good number. We're just going to do 1 because, like I said, I'll show you on another event and you'll be able to actually see what it looks like. There are some other important settings in here, just a couple to draw your attention to. You can require personal information from your donors, and this can be different from the information you're requiring from your event, from your ticket purchasers. So if you need address for your donors so you can write them a thank you card or whatever, you can require that here, even if you're only requiring like email address from your ticket purchasers. This is attribution settings, so you can set up like on behalf of, in support of, in memory of, or any other ones that you want to create. And these will pop up so that when somebody makes a donation on your website, they'll be able to put in, oh, this is on behalf of, you know, John Smith or whatever, and it'll show up on the website and in your reports. So you can use these custom ones by clicking use this, or you can create your own. These are use designations. So if you want to do, for example, if your nonprofit like supports a school or something, you could do like education, sports, and it would just be different options that people could click that they want their donation to go towards. It's all going to go to the same place on the back end. So it would be up to your nonprofit to actually sort that out and sort by this donation use designation and make sure that all, you know, those donations are going to those different uses. But it's a nice option to show up on the donation page so that people can click and see where their donation is going to go. Here you can set up a little checkout add-on, and we're actually going to do this. So this could be a small amount of money that people can add right as they're about to click buy tickets. So if they haven't donated already in the purchase path, or maybe if they're just, you know, feeling a little extra generous, they can just click one of these and it'll add to their cart. So I usually recommend pretty small amounts, like maybe $1, $3, $5, or at most like $5, $10, $15. Sometimes I've seen people do like $3, $5, and then like a bigger amount, like 20. Depending on what kind of event you have, the amounts should change. Like if you're having a larger event with higher ticket prices, you might be able to add more, add higher prices on the checkout add-on. But if you're doing a little picnic event, you're going to want to keep it pretty low. Here is just where you're going to add your nonprofit's information. So your tax ID, legal business name, address, and then what percentage of donations are tax deductible, which is usually 100%. And this will show up on the donation confirmation email automatically. So when somebody donates, they're going to get this information so that they can use it for their tax deductions if they want to. So that's donation setup. I'm going to actually show you a couple of ticket events just so you can see what that looks like on the front end. So we will go to the Gala. So as you can see, the donate button shows up here. When I go here, I can click on one of these 3 levels. These are the donation levels I was showing you, and here's where the description of them shows up. So it automatically fills in here, or if they don't want to donate one of these 3 amounts, they can just enter their own custom amount in here. This event has it set up so that I can choose to cover the processing fee on my donation, which is 4% on all donations, no matter what size. Here I can fill out that on behalf of text. So like I said, if I want to do it on behalf of somebody, I can do it like that, or it doesn't have to be a person. Could be a use again. And then these are those use designations. So this is for a garden nonprofit. So I have 3 different use designations here. So I'm going to click community events. And then this takes me to the checkout page. So you can also donate through the purchase path, because when you have donations turned on for your ticket event, it's going to show up in the purchase path. So if I'm selecting a ticket, these are custom questions, which I'll come back to in a moment. But it's going to show up here in the purchase path. So I can, again, donate, and then after I click continue, it's going to take me back to that checkout page. So it all shows up in one path, which we find really helps with donations, because if people are already buying tickets, they're also pretty likely to throw in a donation, even if it's a smaller amount, if it shows up in their path. So just to kind of go over what an event looks like, because obviously this event looks pretty different from our website right now. This is a cover page, which is one of our custom landing pages. They look really beautiful and professional when you do them well, or even if you don't do them well, it's pretty hard to mess it up. And I'll show you how to add content to this. So we're going to go into this event. I think I have it. There we go. So now we're in the back end of this event. And we're going to go to cover page. So this is how you set that beautiful page up. So these are all custom content blocks, and it's point and click. So you are able to go into any of these blocks and it'll show you what it looks like here. And you can add an image, or you can do a background color. You can add the buttons. So this is a button that links to a URL. So in this case, it's going to the registration, but you can also have it go to any outside URL, whatever you want. And then these descriptions are this little text that shows up here. And then you can have a title. Or you can just do an image, which is what we're going to do in a moment. So if I want to add a content block, I can just go here, choose one of those options, go to background, image, choose my image. So we're going to do this one. It's a little bit bigger than the recommended size, but we can zoom in or out if we want to. We'll do it like that. And then you can see here it shows up like this. You can either have an overlay on it or not. If you turn it off, then you won't be able to add the title or the description or anything, but you'll have this, you know, it won't have that shaded look to it. If you do have the overlay, then you can add these other things to it. So we'll save it. Oh, what's a name? We'll just call it garden. You want to name these so that you can remember what it is, because when you're back on this page, you're not going to necessarily remember what section you're working with. So it helps to name them something that you'll find helpful when you go back to make it quicker. So we'll refresh here, and if we scroll down, the image shows up. And it looks really beautiful with the rest of our colors and everything, because all these colors that are showing up on here are some of those custom colors that you added to your event theme. So everything looks nice and cohesive. And here's your logo. So I just uploaded a little GiveSignup logo, but you can upload any kind of image that you want. Usually square images or circle images like this look best. And it shows up at the bottom as well as at the top of your page. So that's the cover page. We're also going to go back, and I showed you when I was purchasing tickets what it looks like to have custom questions set up for your ticket purchasers. So you can create as many or as few of these as you want. So the default is not to have any, of course, but if you have any reason to collect additional information from your ticket purchasers besides that personal information collection that I showed you in the wizard, you can do that. So in this case, I have a couple of different drop downs for my ticket purchasers. So I have what would you like for dinner and what would you like for dessert. And I will show you quickly how those got set up. So if you go back to your event, click on questions. These are all the questions that I have. You'll see there's a third question here that didn't show up when we were on my website, because this one is just for a certain ticket level, which is not the ticket level I was looking at. So if I go back, it's for this ticket level. So now that I've selected one of those tickets, it'll show up. So you can actually customize down to the ticket level which questions show up for what. So if you have, very different ticket levels for different purposes, you're able to put as many different questions as you want for each of those different options. And you'll see here now that I have 2 tickets selected, one from that first ticket level and one from this friend of the garden ticket level. So now I'm actually selecting 2 different dinner options and 2 different dessert options, one for each ticket. So to create a new question, you just click add question. You have all these options for question type. So if you have a yes or no question, or if you need somebody to type in something longer, you have those options as well as the menu. So maybe for this, we're going to say, what is your favorite thing about the garden or something, because this event is to support a garden. You can actually add an image here to your question, and it'll show up next to the question when somebody's going through. So we'll add this picnic, even though this isn't the picnic event, we'll add this picnic image just so you can see it. So this is where you select who answers the question. So I'm just going to say everybody answers this question. But if I wanted to limit it to different ticket groups or ticket levels, I could do that here. Internal questions are things that people won't see during registration. That's a little bit more complicated. But that's basically if you want to have that show up in your reporting, but not as people go through purchase path. So this is like if you set up a question and then later you decide you don't want to use it anymore, you'll want to turn it into an internal question so that it still shows up in your reports and people's information that they filled out doesn't disappear from anywhere, but it's not showing up in registration. So we're going to skip that, obviously. Here's where you could fill in any additional details if you have a description for your question or if you have any other information that you need people to see before they answer it. And then you can just save your question here. And as soon as you do things on the ticket event platform, it all shows up. So once you save it, it'll be here. So here's how that image shows up. And then see, again, since I have 2 tickets selected right now, I have 2 different boxes. But if I only had one, I would just have the one box where I could fill in. And it's required, so it's not going to let me go to the next page without answering these questions. So that's questions. I think now let's quickly go over where you can add your domain. So we're not going to demo this because it's a little complicated, but we do have detailed instructions on this on both our support page and our blog. So if you want to add a domain to your event, you can do that. I've started the process with this domain here. So you enter the domain, and then you're going to have to go back to GoDaddy or Google Domains or wherever you got the domain from and find the records and then enter them here. And then it goes through a validation process. And then you're able to have your event set up under a domain. So you can go to your website and it'll say elizabethgives.com instead of runsignup.com or givesignup.org/ticket event. You can also use subdomains, which would be like elizabethgives.mynonprofit.org. But then in that case, you would be adding your nonprofit's domain here. And again, those instructions are going to be available. I'll link to them in the follow-up email for this webinar, and then also they're available on our blog and our support page. So let's quickly go back here. So this is where we have that logo that I showed you. And like I said, you want the circle or the square, just so you can see what it looks like when it's uploaded there. Okay. So finally, let's go back and see what else we have. We have donation discounts still to cover and combo tickets. So let's do combo tickets first, actually. We're gonna actually set up a combo ticket with our ticket levels, since right now we only have 1 ticket group on this. event. So the ticket group that we have is picnic, and we have those adult and kid levels on this one. So maybe for our picnic event, we want the adult tickets to be available, but we don't want the kid tickets to be available unless we've already purchased a certain amount of adult tickets. That's the combo tickets use case. So we're actually going to go back to the wizard here and go back to our kid ticket level. And where it says only allow this ticket level to be purchased as part of a combo, save that. And now we're going to go back to combo tickets. You'll notice I'm using the menu here just to show you how easy it is to find everything. So if you are looking for a setting, you can type in here or start to type in, and it'll start automatically populating with some suggestions of where you might be going. But you can also always find things by clicking through here. I find especially this purchase settings, these options here, to be easiest to find if you search for them, just because there's a few in here now, and they're not like this is ticket caps here, but you wouldn't necessarily know to go here for these ticket caps. So we're going to go back and add our combo ticket now. Picnic. So this level is the one that you have to buy in order to get the kid tickets. So we're saying the adult one. You have to buy 2 of those, and then you're able to buy 2 kid tickets. And you can add as many of these as you want. So you can add another, if you had a 3rd ticket level or something, you could add even more complications on top of that. Or you could add another combo ticket setting if you had, multiple ticket groups. So you have a lot of different options to make it as customized as you need it to be. For this kind of an event, we don't have enough ticket groups and ticket levels to make it that complicated, but you do have those options. So now we'll save it, and I'll go back to this. This is our simple website that we had from the original event we set up. So now if I buy 2 kid tickets or 2 adult tickets, I can get 2 kid tickets. And I'll hit buy tickets, and it'll take me back here, and now we have donation set up, and we're going to go back to our purchase screen. So that's how combo tickets get set up. Like I said, there's a bunch of different use cases for these, depending on, like I've seen some nonprofits use these for sponsors. Like if you buy a certain amount of sponsor tickets, then you get a certain amount of regular tickets. Or if you buy 1 VIP ticket, then you can get 3 regular, standard tickets. So there's a bunch of different ways you can use it, but this is just a simple example so you can kind of see how easy it is to set that up. We're going to go back to our Giving Gala now, and we're going to set up a donation discount so you can see what that looks like. This is something we just released a couple of weeks ago. So we don't have a ton of nonprofits using it on ticket events yet, but we do have it on races, and we've seen really good results from that for our nonprofit customers. So here I've set up one already, and we're going to set up another one for this ticket level. But a donation discount is where if I buy, if I make a certain donation, and then while I'm buying a ticket, then I can get this discount on that ticket purchase. And it's it's per ticket, so it's cumulative. So that means like if I'm buying 3 tickets, I'm still going to have this per ticket discount. It doesn't all add up. And I'll show you what I mean after I've set this up for this one. So maybe for the standard ticket, which is currently priced at $30, if I make a $20 donation, I can get, we'll do $5 again. I can get $5 off of my $30 ticket if I've donated $20. We're going to save that. Go back to our page. So now, well, I'll go this way. So now if I'm buying this ticket, I get this little highlight here that shows me that it's a donation discount. And I can see, okay, so I'm going to buy one of these and one of these. Fill out all my information. we're going to say the garden is pretty. And so now when I get to the donation screen, it has this nice little box here that shows me what I need to donate in order to get a $10 discount on my ticket purchase. So since I bought that first VIP ticket, which had that that $5 discount, and then I bought a second ticket, which was $30, which was also a $5 discount, it adds up to 10 here. So I need to donate at least $40 in order to get that discount. So $5 on each ticket. So I'm going to I'll donate $50 and just use this donation level. So now it shows me that I'm going to get that discount. I go through here. This is a store item that I've set up for this event. So it shows up in the purchase path if I want to add one. And it'll show up in my checkout as a minus $10, discount on my purchase. And then I would pay, and yeah, I would get my discount. So that is donation discounts. So now I'm gonna quickly show you one more thing, which is becoming more and more popular with some of our events. So we released an app over the summer for check-in. So we have a race check-in app as well for our run, walk, ride. So we released a similar kind of app for our ticket events. So how it works is you will go in here to your dashboard for your event, set up a password, and then you can add a password hint if you want. And then you're going to share this password with everyone who, like all your volunteers, everyone who's going to need to be checking people in at the event. Then you'll download the app, which is the ticket check-in app. And it's on, Android and iOS, everywhere you would need an app. And so once you have it downloaded, you can go in, and I actually have screenshots so that you can see what it looks like. So you'll go in, find your event, you can search for it here, or there's just a long list of events that have it turned on. So you can also scroll through and find it if you're so inclined, but I recommend just searching for it. You would click the event, enter the password, so you could have all your volunteers who need to be checking people in all using it at the same time on their own phones. They all have the same password, so they all go in, and then they can see the list of purchases and the list of tickets down here. So all these tickets are in my name, but you would see different names for different purchases. As you can see, these are all different tickets. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on. So you could either check people in by going to the purchase and finding them, or you can check them in on an individual ticket level. You would just hit check-in, and then that person would show up as checked in, and it would show up that way on all the volunteers' phones, so they would all know that that person's been checked in. So this is a really great option, and we're actually adding even more functionality to it pretty soon, where you'll be able to see store items in it, and you'll be able to filter a little bit more on ticket level and things like that, so that it's even easier to check people in easily. But it's a really great way to do that, so that you're not dealing with spreadsheets or anything on the day of your event. It's really simple for everyone to use. People are already using their phones anyway. So you don't have to teach your volunteers how to use it, really. So that is everything that I have. Do we have any questions, Bob?
Yeah, so the first question, is there an option for invite-only ticket purchase, for example, a private donor event?
So we're currently building something that's going to make that really easy, but we don't have it yet. So in the future, we're going to have a platform. It'll be kind of connected to like our sponsor platform that we're building. It'll also be similar to reserved entries on races, if you're at all familiar with that, on RunSignup, where you'll be able to go in and have a ticket group or ticket level just for a certain, maybe a sponsor or some other like reserved group, and send it to them. So that they can then send it to the people that they want to buy those tickets.
Yeah, the other way is, if you remember on the first step of the wizard, you can set an event to be private, and then it won't be searchable on Google and things like that, and you'll have your own URL that you would then send people to sign up for the event. So that's the way to do it today. And then the second question is, what's the difference between ticket groups and ticket levels?
So ticket groups are sort of the overarching, the highest way to sort your tickets. So if we go to this one, or actually, let's go to, I'll show you an example on a website that has multiple ticket groups and ticket levels, so you can see, because it's easiest if you show it.
Here's the way that I think of it. Ticket levels are actually tickets, and we're probably going to rename them just tickets. And ticket groups are groups of tickets. So you could have Friday is a group of tickets, and Saturday is a group of tickets.
So if you have a multi-day event, that's one way to think of it. If you have, Friday, Saturday, it could be a ticket group. This is another example. So this is a charity golf tournament. They have an individual entry. This is a ticket group, and a foursome entry. This is also a ticket group. And then each of them has only one ticket level, but you could have multiple ticket levels if you wanted. So you could have like 7 or 8 ticket levels if you wanted to in the individual entry if you had different cases for each one. But so right now, part of it is the way it displays on your website. So this is how a ticket group displays, and then a ticket level is just this little box here with a name or description if you have more than one. Yeah, for the most part, it's just the way that you're grouping up all those tickets. So the ticket level is this individual ticket of any kind. Ticket group is like a family of tickets.
Is a thank you letter sent out for donations?
So if someone makes a donation by just clicking on donate or in the purchase path of buying a ticket, they're going to get a automatic donation confirmation email. And you can customize that by going into your event. I don't know if it shows up in this one.
I think it's under notifications.
Yeah. So in here, you have all your notifications. So if someone makes a donation, they're going to get this email automatically. You can add anything you want here. You can add your own custom thank you, but this is how it shows up automatically. So yes, they'll get an email like this. If you want to do anything more complicated than that, like send them something yourself, you can require address and do it yourself, or
what are those little
add
percent things?
So these are replacement tags. So this will pull in their donation information. So if they made a $50 donation, when they get this email, it's going to say, you made a $50 donation. It'll have that amount. And so you can, like, these will show up automatically for each person, depending on what they did.
Cool. And so you could add text around those things.
Right. So at the bottom, you could, go beneath this one and say, like, thank you again or something. I can't spell. You get the idea. And so down here, these are those placeholders right here. But yeah.
Can you specify those features that are being released soon? So I guess I'll talk to this. So there's 2 sets of features that we're working on right now. One is simplification of the wizard, because we find that people, they have trouble understanding the power of groups. It's like too much power to hit them with right up front. So we're just going to introduce the concept of setting up tickets in the wizard. And then you have the power of groups that's more in the dashboard. The other thing that we're working on is this whole idea of creating sponsor type of offers. And the sponsor type of offers is actually multifaceted. So one is the idea of having a special ticket type that is actually a package of tickets. So I could buy a table for a gala, and it would be a package of 10 tickets. And then I'd be able to either specify all those names of the 10 people myself if I wanted to, or I could send invite to my guests. So if I buy the table, if I spend $1,000 and buy a table at a big gala, I could either fill in, say, 5 of them myself, and then send 5 invitations. And then those people could fill them in, and they would be for free, obviously. A second part of that sponsor thing is going to make sponsors kind of similar to how we have them in RunSignup, where you'll be able to manage your sponsors. You'll be able to manage their visibility automatically on your event website. You'll be able to manage their visibility within emails. You'll be able to set, you'll be able to send them invoices. You'll be able to, mark whether they've been paid or not. You'll be able to keep notes on them. You'll be able to invite them to actually upload their own logos and things like that. So really what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a ticket platform for nonprofits. We're trying to solve the typical types of problems that we see nonprofits having over and over again with kind of more bare bones ticket sites like Eventbrite. You know, a lot of the just generic ticket sites, you can't even make a donation. And what we're trying to do is add on those things that will make your events more successful and help you raise more money, such as that cool little donation discount feature that Elizabeth showed you. Any other questions?
All right, well, thank you all for attending. I'm going to send out some resources after the webinar, either later today or tomorrow morning, with some links, some relevant blogs, some other information so that you can go back, and also I'll include the recording so you can go back and watch it. Thank you all for coming, and have a great day.